Hi, good evening, and good afternoon, and welcome to THFC Till I Die. Dermotron here from the gang. How are you all this afternoon? Well, we'll start with some breaking news. It's Fabrizio Romero. It says, "Here we go. Danjama to Tottenham. Here we go. Deal agreed. Hijack completed after player did medical tests and media as new evidence signing last week. Loan deal with Villarreal. He's on his way for a medical with Spurs." So we could be on the verge of making our first signing, or we have made our first signing. Ellie's in the background. Ellie, do you want to pop in? Give me the thumbs up if you want to pop in. Yeah? No? Yeah? Oh, you're coming in anyway.
Bring me in.
Ellie,
Nice one.
breaking news. Tottenham have made their first signing of the transfer window. Diajama to Tottenham. Here we go. Deal agreed. Hijack completed after player did medical tests and media as new evidence signing last week. The Don has done it again. He's come in. He swooped in. He said, "You're coming to Tottenham." And there you go. What's your first thoughts on this? And look, it's not a signing we want, Ellie. We want a centre back. We want a right wing back. But are you happy we've got somebody through the door?
Yeah, I'm happy because he's a very, very good player. He's coming from good credentials as well from Villarreal, who are a very hard-working, solid team, always perform well, and their players are always well versed up in what's required of a player to be successful. Because they've had so much success, that team. They won the UEFA Cup. And they beat Manchester United as well, which is no mean feat. So
no,
I'm all up for it, Dermot. I'm all up for it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm over the moon with it. Sorry, I'm just doing a bit of housekeeping in the background, Ellie.
Yeah, that's fine. No, housekeeping is essential.
Do you know what? Sod it today. I can't be asked. No. Please get your likes. Please hit the like button, the description button. Please also, if you're not a member, become a member. The member link's on the YouTube channel. If you want to send us a super chat, me or Ellie, send it in. We've got Wayne Bonner in the chat. He says, "Big afternoon." He says, "Afternoon all. Good to see a fairly decent performance last night." Yeah, we will be going through that briefly as well. We cannot forget Harry Kane has equaled Jimmy Greaves' all-time record. I'm up to that.
Sonny made it.
Wayne Bonner says, and even though he wasn't at his best again, there's still small glimpses of Sonny as he was before he stepped. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Big up Wembley one. He says, "Afternoon, boys. I'm definitely taking these rumours about Dujama with a pinch of salt. Levy has never hijacked a milk float, never mind another club's transfer. He loves having it done through him. Well, believe it, Fabrizio Romero has said, 'Here we go, Wembley one.' He's on his way, and Spurs could be on the way to Wembley." Wayne Bonner says, "You're coming in anyway." Yeah, exactly. Anyway, Eddie, last night, a morale boosting 1-0 win for Tottenham. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Hard fought.
Do you know? Look, it wasn't the greatest performance, Ellie, but we've got 3 points. We're at 3 points now off Manchester United in the league. We're not as bad as everyone thinks we are we?
It's a story of our season, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sort of, we're not as bad as we think we are, and we don't perform for the whole of the 90 minutes. So that, do you know what it is, Dermot? Sometimes in football, you've got to grind out a result, and we've been grinding them out in all season, really. We haven't had one real game apart from maybe the second half of Leicester, the second half of Southampton, and possibly I would give the Fulham game about 75 minutes where we performed really well.
Yeah.
It's just the last 15 we sort of tailed off. But, you know, that is the story of our season. So we have to take it with a pinch of salt. We have to make do with what we've got until Conte does a revolution, because I really do believe he's going to stay, Dermot.
Do you know what? I'm with you on that, Ellie. I've got look. You and me, Ellie, have been around the block, Bolton, Tottenham for a few times, haven't we? To be fair,
yes.
I don't mean that rudely, but we have been.
We're old.
We've seen a few. We've seen a few things at Tottenham, you and me. I've got it. I said to Dave earlier. I'm speaking to Mr. Harrison. Big up, Dave. It's great hearing you.
Harris.
I've got the feelings in my bones, Ellie, in my back of my stomach that he's going to stay. He's making all the right signings, and I think it was a bit premature to come out and say he's leaving, because nobody's actually said he's leaving. It's only reports that he's leaving. Do you think last night when they said, we'll get on to his press conference as well in a minute, Ellie, what he said, do you think it was important what he said last night to show Tottenham fans, I'm here, I'm here for the foreseeable future, we hope?
Yeah, because I'm looking at that team, Dermot, right? And if you notice, right, there's Perisic, Bentancur, Kulusevski, Romero were his signings.
Yeah.
Right, and then Emerson Royal came in for Nuno, right? And the rest are Pochettino's players. Lloris, Dyer, Davis, Højbjerg was Jose's, I must admit. Kane was his and Son was his. So half the team is his and half the team isn't. All right. So when you think about it, he's got to make his own changes to make it his team, because this is not his team, remember. He adopted this team and he brought in 5 more new boys. So when he's got these other 6 or even 4, I think he needs another 4 to make it complete for him.
He does.
He needs a new goalie, centre-back. What I would say is a left wing back and a right wing back, a proper left wing back and a proper right wing back. That centre back position needs to be strengthened, because that's where we've leaked a lot of goals, and the goalkeeper. Even though I love Lloris, he's leaked a lot of goals this season, and he's getting older. He's coming to the end of his days, you know.
Do you remember Ray Clements made a lot of mistakes before the end of his time at Tottenham, Ellie? And
he did.
Eric Torsvet did it. Eric Torsvet in his debut made the complete howler altogether.
Yeah, he did. Well, the thing is, once you get past 30, 32, say, I think you slow down naturally anyway.
You do.
You're only going to be super fit if you're like Luka Modric or Gareth Bale even. You know, they've got the fitness to last out a little bit longer. Even Ryan Giggs at Manchester United and Teddy Sheringham. You see, Teddy Sheringham was a different kettle of fish. He was never fast. No. So he just relied on his intelligence. That's where a lot of players, they can play. The thing is, with goalkeeper, you don't need intelligence. You need agility as well.
You do.
You need both. You need the intelligence to move the right way and agility to make it once you've made the, the decision to go there. Yeah.
You certainly do, Ellie. Well, look, I am over the moon with this from the deal. We've got a deal through the door. I'm trying to get a picture of it.
I'm happy
that it's up here.
Shall we call him Darmatron?
Huh?
We could call him Darmatron. Your brother.
Nobody nicks my name, Ellie. Nobody nicks my nickname. No, come on now.
No, we'll have to keep your name sacred, don't we?
Oh Lord God! But what's your player profile? What was your play ratings, Ellie?
Player ratings. I'll give Lloris a 7. He did two good saves. One he parried to the side, and one was straight at him, but it was still hard to save.
Yeah,
I'll give Dyer an 8. Because he played really well. I think his distribution, he was keeping it more simple. I'll give Davis a 6, Romero a 7, Emerson an 8, because he played really well, especially in the second half, defending like a Trojan. Højbjerg, I'll give a 6 because he wasn't at his best, but he didn't do. He gave the ball away quite a few times, which I was very upset about. But I'm going to give him a 6 because his off the ball play was good. Perisic, I'll give a 5. Because he was very poor. Bentancur, I'll give an 8 because he was everywhere. You know, he was here, there, and everywhere. Kane, I'll give a 7. Even though he scored a goal, I didn't think he affected the game like he should do. We know Harry Kane, how good he is. I'll give Son a 6, and Kulusevski, I'll give him an 8 as well because I thought he done really well on the wing, and he done some brilliant runs, and that one where it came off the corner flag and he tricked the 2 players and then Emerson shot, but unfortunately the goalie was equal to it. Yeah, they're my player ratings.
Yeah, my player ratings. We've got Philip Brady's here as well, if I can get Phillips up. This is Phillips. He's gone for Lloris 7, Emerson 9, Romero 6, Dyer 7, Davis 6, Perisic 6, Bentancur 7, Højbjerg 7, Kane 7, Son 5, Kulu 6. Look, for me, I can't really disagree with much with that. Well, both your play ratings, to be honest with you, I'll be along the same. But for me, the man of the match last night, and I never thought I would say this, on this channel.
What are you going to say?
Emerson got man of the
Royal.
match.
Oh my God, he was
Can I ask,
awesome.
what is Conte giving him in his breakfast when he comes to Spurs training? What's in his pre-match meal? Wheat and bits?
He must have given him a pet pill. And remember, he's been working on himself as well.
Yeah, he has.
Because he's got a lot of stick, the boy, you know, and rightly so. He did deserve the stick. But this game, he always seems to perform well away from home. Maybe the home crowd get on his nerves a bit and then he starts to waver, you know, because players do react to the fans.
They do. We've got Lee Richards at 3 points off third, very winnable FA Cup game at Preston, still in the Champions League, still loads to play for this season. The way some people are carrying on, you think we were relegation candidates. Well,
do you know what I mean?
Everyone's entitled to their opinion.
Yeah.
Wilton McDonald, big up Wilton. Good evening.
Wilton.
Good evening, Dermot and Ellie. We've got Elias. Wow, Queen is wearing the sun cap. Wow,
I am. Because he did an assist, so he deserves it.
Wayne Bonner, Royal must have had 3
Do you know what I mean?
I love it. I love it. And then David Clark, big up from David. It says, hi from Leicester. I'm only making 4, Royal 8, Bentacle 8, Kane 8, away fans 10. That's another thing I want to talk about. The away fans. They are a credit and a absolute honour for this club.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't stop from start to finish singing.
Brilliant.
And it does help the players, Ellie. It really helps the players.
That's what I said about Emerson Royal. Away from home, they support him more. At home, I can hear them, Dermot. They really get on his back.
This is the Romero. This is what is put up on Twitter. There he is in the Spurs shirt, and just to prove that it is from Fabrizio Romero, I saw it put it up there. Right, Ellie, let's get on with the show. Let's get on. This is Newsbeat transfer news, and this is what we do best. So I'm going to bring that up there. The first thing we're going to bring up, Ellie, is Conte's, I'm really proud to be a Tottenham manager. Conte, I'm fighting to the end. And this is his quote. He said after the game, for this reason, I want to fight until the end with my players. We are a team that works a lot. And under this aspect, I can't tell anything about my players. Spoke with my players. I have good players, but especially good men. They understand we have to fight until the end for this important position. We have to be ready to suffer. He added, I had a good answer from my players. I asked them for the solidarity of last season and the will and the desire to fight and to be resilient. Today has been the starting point for us to give everything we will see what happens at the end. We will try and stay in the race for the Champions League and try to go into the next round of the FA Cup. Ellie,
come on.
You can't help but be inspired by the man. Even as a Spurs fan, he speaks. And I feel like after I hear Conte's press conference or he's really up for it, you feel about 2 foot taller, even as a fan.
Yeah.
Like you want to run through a brick wall for this man.
Yeah.
As a fan. Can you imagine being the player? If you were a player now, Ellie, with Conte as your manager, how would that make you feel?
I'd love him because he'd inspire me to do better. You know, when you go on that football pitch, you if you love the club, you will put your all into playing for the club, right? So some players have gone missing this season, it must be said. But this game, they dug in and they weren't brilliant. We must hold our hands up. They weren't brilliant, but they dug in. And that's all he asked. He asked them to remember what they did last season, how they got the results. But they were playing a lot better then. Those last 10 games, we played some awesome football and we were passing really, really well. But at least we dug in, Dermot. And that was fighting talk by our manager. And it inspired all the players to go and get the victory.
Yeah, for me, Conte is a world-class manager. We need to back him. And maybe today now to start, we're going to start backing him. It isn't the player that we wanted, but it's a player in. So maybe, somebody put in one of the group chats, it isn't a Conte signing, it's a club signing. But I'm sure no signings will go without Conte's approval. Would you think so, Ellie?
Yeah, I think because he's a winger, we need a winger with pace, and he's got everything. He's strong, he's resilient, he works like a Trojan. We need players to fight. We need, because in this Premiership, it's tough, Dermot. We know this. There's no team that are shrinking violence in this Premiership. Even Southampton has started to come good now. They were the whipping boys earlier on this season, but they've got a semi-final to play, right? So they've got it all to play for as well. But like I said, right, Antonio knows his weaknesses and he knows his strengths, and he knows which players need an arm round them to sort of mollycoddle them. You know, he's a man manager at the end of the day. He might not be the best coach, because we've already seen that he does make tactical errors and he does make late substitutions too late. You know, like if you're going to make an effect, give like Brian Hill not 2 minutes or Jed Spence 3 minutes. You know, what can they do? It's like anything. Whereas the best coaches, they do make changes a lot quicker. But in his defence, because I'm not going to dig Conte out because I love the guy, I just feel that, you know, his man management will get us through, and we might even make that top 4. I made a prediction last week that we're nowhere near it, but I think we can. It depends on the other teams as well, how they push on.
Yeah.
Because 3 points behind third now, which is not a bad stat.
But don't forget, Man United have 2 games ahead of a game in hand in us as well, Ellie. So
I know. We just have to be mindful of that.
Yeah, I think both Newcastle and Man United have a game in hand in us. But look, we're going to pop on now about Gary Neville's claims. Oh, Jesus, Gary Neville gets up. Between him and Simon Jordan, I don't know who talks the hottest air between the pair of them, to be fair. You had Simon Jordan calling some of our fan base idiots for wanting Levy out, right? Which is entitled to any fan to have their opinion.
Yeah, but remember, he's an ex-chairman, so he would go on the chairman's side, and he's probably
he would also understand. He has run a football club as well, not successfully, but you know, it's there. And then you got Gary Neville. Now, I'd rather listen to Simon Jordan than Gary Neville, to be fair, because Gary Neville talks a load of bloody rubbish half the time. Yeah. And this is what he said. Gary Neville claims last night on Sky Sports after the game that Tottenham have backed Conte in the transfer market. Firstly, I don't know which planet Gary Neville's living on, but hey ho, I'd love to be there in his planet. Please don't sue me, Gary Neville. Speaking on Monday Night Football, after Tottenham beat Fulham, Neville said Conte should sign a new deal with Spurs. Well, we agree on that.
Yeah.
I think it needs to be, there's a feeling that he's not happy with the club and rumours he won't sign a new contract. But look at the end, But I look at that and think Tottenham are very lucky to have Antonio Conte, he said. But Conte, from a point of view, what club is going to get currently that's better than Tottenham Hotspur? They're in the Champions League. They are the most unbelievable stadium in Europe. He signed Basuma, Kuvaseski, Bentancur, Romero. It's 190 million worth of signings in 2 windows. The idea that Spurs haven't supported him is wrong and a myth. Both of them should shake hands tomorrow and sign a 2 or 3 year deal and get things right. Look, look, for me, Ellie, I can understand what he's saying about Conte signing a new contract. I get that, and he should do. And yet we have backed him with players like Basuma, Kuvaseski, Bentancur, Romero, and players like that. But have Tottenham rarely backed Conte to the full, or have they backed him halfway? That's the question I'm sort of want to ask you, Ellie.
Yeah, because I believe it's halfway, because when you think about it, we were weak in the centre of defence. We were weak on the right and we were weak on the left. And we got a 34-year-old, well, he's 33 when we signed him, but he's 34 now, Perisic, who can't do a full left wing back role. He can do it up to a point, but he's 34. Right. And then on the other side, we already had Emerson and then we had Doherty. So we should have strengthened in those 3 positions with proper seasoned players that know the role. Because Perisic, although he's a He's really a winger. He's not a left wing back.
No,
He hasn't really played that role to any great extent. He
no.
played it for Inter under Conte,
Mm.
but he was younger then. You're talking about 31. There's a big difference between 31 and 34.
But he still does a good job in that role, Ellie, for us.
Yeah,
he really
does.
does.
But what I mean is to have somebody younger to come in, because Sessegnon's been a big disappointment, hasn't he? He's not grown into his role, and he's such lacking in confidence, the boy.
I don't think it's lacking in confidence, Ellie. He hasn't been the same player. I saw him in the Bundesliga. He was unbelievable. He went to Fulham. He played really well at Fulham. Since he's come to us, his game's gone backwards. Now
he used to take on players.
Yeah, but that could be a selection of managers we've had. Managers out different for us, different ways of managing.
I just think it's him, Dermot.
I'm not really his biggest fan, to be fair. I think we need a left wing back, a right wing back, a centre back, and a cam. Now,
we do.
For me, I would love us to go for McAllister as a cam. I really would. I would like us. Look, we had a chance to get. Yeah, we had a chance to go and get Skinnier. He wants to go. He's now going to PSG, so we have to try. Just put the money. Go for Bastoni. Get him in.
Yeah,
and the right wing back. I Dumfries now. I wouldn't mind at the club. I think Dumfries is a good
score. He's a very good player. The thing is, I was listening to Inter fans saying that he's not all that, but he scores, right? So what do you want? Do you want a player that scores, or do you want a player who does everything and doesn't score? Like Basuma's a bit like that, but since he's arrived at Spurs, he's not a great goal scorer, but he's been lacking confidence as well. So really, when you look at those signings, you can only say Kulusevski, Romero, and Bentancur have been there, worth their weight in gold for the club, because they have performed, all three of those. Although Romero's dropped off a little bit in terms of what he was last season, he's still our best defender by far.
Yeah, he is. Well, Wayne Bonner, you've asked for a bit about our new signing, and here it is a bit of stats on him for you. His position is a forward or a midfielder. He's right-footed. He was born. He's only 25 years old. He's Nigerian. His national team is actually in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
His club is Villarreal. La Liga for 22-23. He's made match appearances 10. He's had 479 appearances and 2 goals this year, no assists. And in the Conference League, he's made 5 appearances, 235 minutes and 2 goals. So he's got 4 goals on total this season. Now, going back through his career, he joined PSG, and then he spent 2 seasons at NEC. I'll tell you who we've been at this is I don't know what happened there.
It just lost transmission. Must have been Duna.
It did. It went to
in the works.
I would try to bring that up again. But anyway, the point I'm making is, Ellie, with the signings, he's never spent 2 seasons at any other club. He spent time at Bournemouth. He's went to Bruges. He spent time there. He's spent time at Villarreal now since 2020. Is it right to bring in cover for Kulusevski and for Mora, who's been out injured? Is it the right thing to do, or do you think we should not have gone for it and still just stick for the centre backs and the right wing back?
The thing is if we can get a centre back that they actually want for this period, that's the problem, because a lot of clubs don't let their centre backs go mid-season, do they?
Yeah.
They don't, because they want to hold on to them. So that's a difficult one. But I think it is a good idea, because Kulu is susceptible to injuries, and Moore's been out for most of the season, hasn't he? And we're going to offload him probably.
Yeah.
We're going to sell him. So, I think he's a good addition. He's versatile as well. We can play midfield and winger. So it's a nice player to have. I've just got a knock on my door, Dermot. Just wait 1 second.
No, that's okay. That's okay. We'll let you go off. Anyway, look, we've got more here. We've got Zanola favours a switch to AC Milan as an opposed move to Tottenham if he is to move in this window. The 23-year-old has long admitted being a admirer of Conte, with Spurs having attempted to sign the 6'3" attacking midfielder during the past 3 windows, though Zaniolo would rather stay in Italy, according to an Italian journalist, and wanting to move to the current Serie A champion holders over a move to North London. Look, it's a deal that's rumbled on, a bit like the Pero deal. Look, if he doesn't want to come, then don't come. Stay in Italy. If you want to come. We shouldn't be wasting time on transfers that might not happen. We should be out there striking the iron heart. Also, with the Pero deal, Ellie, I don't know why. Oh, yeah, here we go. This is for Wilton McDonald. It says, I'm concerned about the owners, chairman, and board. What's their vision for the club? We're in my mind in a boat that's just wanting to go over the cliff, or in calm waters, or just wanting to sink. Look, we are going to do something on Thursday. We'll explain for that in a minute. We're doing a show. It's the King, Queen, and Godfather show. It's a new series, and it's our views on our club for the past 30 years. And the title of the show is I Miss Tottenham. And I will read out what I wrote down the other night. I sent it to Ellie. Yeah. And it's a letter. It's a letter to Tottenham, to the Tottenham board and owners. Why I miss my Tottenham. And it means a lot to me. So we will read that. So Ellie, looks like this Zaniolo deal is not coming off.
No, I think Jose's put the spanner in that one by coming out in the press as well and saying.
And of course, we've gone over the Villarreal. Giacomo's on his way. This is what was about an hour ago. I was putting this show together, finishing off, and this is the last bit of putting it. Villarreal, because we all know he's now signed, but about an hour ago, he was on his way to Everton. He had done everything with Everton, and we've hijacked the deal.
Yeah.
This has never been done before. We've never hijacked any deal. So for us to do that now has been brilliant. We've talked about that, and there he is. Now it seems Tottenham are set. Of course they are. Harry Kane. Now, he's equal Jimmy Greaves' record, Ellie.
Well done, Harry.
Now, and also he's on about new contract. He's got a 2-year contract, which goes into 12 months to start of next season.
Yeah.
Now, we've had all the talk about him going to Old Trafford, Bayern Munich, all the same cobblers, but this is what Harry said. Harry Kane is expected to open contract talks with Tottenham in the coming months, but has played down the chances of agreeing a new deal before the end of the season after equaling Jimmy Greaves' scoring record last night. Kane's 266 Spurs goal took him level with Greaves as the club's all-time top scorer, and then Antonio Conte's side a much-needed win at Fulham. As reported by the Standard on Sport on Monday, Kane, who has entered the final 18 months of his contract, is open to holding talks with the club, and after the transfer window could extend his deal providing circumstances are favourable. The 29-year-old still wants to win trophies with his boyhood club and believes this season can still be a success despite the flattering form. Now, I have got his quotes here. Yeah. He was asked by the Standard Sport for an update on his contract, and Kane said, "There's not been much talk, if I'm totally honest. I'm sure there will be conversations over the coming months, but to be honest, I'm just focused on this season, doing the best for the team. There's still a lot to play for, trying to get into the Champions League. We have an FA Cup and Champions League still to win. try to win. My focus is on that. I know there's going to be rumours, lots of talk and speculation about my future, but I'm just focused on what I can do. Of course, I still want to win trophies for Tottenham Hotspur. That's been my goal since I started playing first team football with them. It hasn't happened. I've been open about how I feel about that, but I will continue to try to achieve that. We have a really good squad, a fantastic manager. There's no reason why we still can't be successful this season. We just got to put everything we can into it and see where we come in May. Spurs will be reluctant to allow Kane to enter the final 12 months of his contract, which would be a rise in possibility of him walking away for nothing in the summer of 2024. Ellie.
Yeah.
Look, Harry Kane, he's a legend of our club. He really is. Look, I can understand what he's saying, that he wants to concentrate at the end of the season, to the end. We're still in the FA Cup. But he's not saying he wants to leave in one of his comments there, are they? He's saying he still wants to stay at Tottenham and win something here. Does that give you confidence that he will sign a new contract at Spurs?
Yeah, it does, but you don't know, because you don't know what's going through his mind in terms of the club's direction with Conte as well, and whether these rumours about Poch coming back as well. There's a lot of things probably floating around his head, whether he's going to stay or not. But I think he will stay, because he's been loyal to us. Well, 3 transfer windows now, they've been saying he's going. And then he had that interview with Gary Neville, who you don't like, nor do I. But
look, nothing against Gary Neville.
He just says a lot of twaddle sometimes.
He does, yeah.
Sometimes he speaks sense as well. But in regards to Harry Kane, if he does stay and we build a team, because remember, we're in transition really, because we've got a new manager. We've had 2 managers in the last year and a bit, right? So we've got a new manager. We're in transition. We've got new players that have got to gel into the team. I remember when Luka Modric came, right? And we were in transition then. And then, like, we all gelled together the next season and we won the League Cup. But do you know what? It's hard to judge whether Harry Kane's going to make this decision to stay, because you don't know what's going through his head, whether he feels trophies are more important or club loyalty. He's been loyal up to now, so I personally believe he's going to stay.
Yeah. Look, I think Harry will stay. I think Harry will sign a new contract. There's no team. I think as long as Conte's here, Harry will stay. Yeah. Harry will stay here. And look, he's equal the record. He'll probably break it on Saturday or Monday. But Harry Kane, for me, deserves a trophy, because this man has been so loyal to us. And if he does go, I wouldn't blame him. And I think he will walk out that door a cemented Spurs legend for what he's done for us. So there's the Harry Kane news. Ellie, these are our next 5 games. We've got Spurs trip now to the Championship side in Preston North End in the FA Cup on Saturday.
Yeah.
Then we've got Man City on my birthday, me and Chris's birthday. So hopefully, fingers crossed, they'll win for us. The last time a game fell on my birthday, I think we beat Blackburn 3-1. And that was during the Klinsmann's first day at Tottenham.
Nice one.
I was also the day I passed my license for driving a digger. So I passed my test that day as well. So that was good. And then we're away to Leicester on the 11th. We're home to West Ham on the 19th. We're home to Chelsea on the 26th. And then we're away to Wolves in March. Plus, we've got the Champions League games and the FA Cup games, probably, if we continue in that competition.
Yeah, Ellie, AC Milan.
The next 5 games, these league games, how many points do you think we'll pick up in the next 5 league games?
Right, I think we can potentially pick up, 10 from that. Because I think we've got the beating of Wolves, we've got the beating of West Ham, so that's 6. And then I think we'll draw with Chelsea, that's 7. We'll beat Leicester 10 and we'll lose to Man City.
Really?
I think we'll lose.
For me, I think we'll get a point. I think we'll beat Man City or get a draw at least. Leicester would win. West Ham. See, West Ham for me is the one I find the difficult one.
We beat them last season, didn't we?
We did. Yeah, I think we'll beat West Ham. Chelsea, I think we'll beat. Look, I go for 11 points. Is that right? 3, 6, 9, 10. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. I go for no, yeah, 3. Is that right, Ellie?
So you got 3 for Man City, 3 for Leicester?
Yeah, that's 6.
That's
yeah.
6. West Ham, did you say a draw?
Yeah, 3, yeah. No,
That's
win at
7.
West Ham, a draw with Chelsea.
9, 10, and win at Wolves.
Wolves are 3,
that's 13.
I'll go for 13 points.
Oh, a bit ambitious there, but still, I'll hope you're right and I'm wrong.
Well, you never know, Ellie. You never know. But look, that's our next games. Well, that's sort of the news. There really wasn't a lot today, and it wasn't really going to be a long show anyway. But the next thing I want to talk about, Ellie, is our show on Thursday, our debate show.
Yeah.
Now, I miss my Tottenham. And now this is what I wrote. Now, I will have this up on Thursday on a PDF for everyone, but what I wrote was this, and it means a lot to me. And I actually get up here. Where is it? There we go. Okay. What does it mean to support Tottenham Hotspur? For as long as I remember, Tottenham Hotspur is my club. The club I followed as a child, teenager, then an adult. To see us win FA Cups, UEFA Cup, League Cups, we're now not the club we once were. And we've lost our identity. The club has lost its soul. The club's lost its way. Tottenham Hotspur was a club that connected with the fans. We were a family club. If Bill Nick could see the club he built, he would be embarrassed and ashamed of the club we have become. And many owners, from Scholar to Sugar to Levy, Enoch, have let us down. They've let managers down. In 2001, we were bought by Enoch and Levy with a promise of playing the Tottenham way. 20 years later, it's still the same. Not backing managers, letting players rule. On the Poch, we had a manager who played the Tottenham way with free-flowing attacking football. But again, Poch was not backed. We had the chance to go to the next level after the Champions League final, but again, we did nothing. We did not back Poch, who deserved at the time to be backed, time to put it right. But again, the same players who are still here now threw Poch under the bus. Then they did the same with Jose, Nuno, now Conte. The club has no direction, no ambition, no soul. Off the field, the owners have done a good job. We've got a great stadium. We have a fantastic training field. But they've let us down big time. The club need to give us, the fans, something to get behind. Tell us what their vision is. Have transparency with us fans. To us fans, the foundations that were laid by the genius work of Bill Nicholson have now been broken. Manager after manager sacked. Poch, Jose, the circus that went into getting Nuno, then sacking him, getting Conte in, then not backing him fully. My own thoughts on the owners are this. I'm not happy what's happening at my club. We have starved of success. For me, players need to take responsibility, as do the owners, because it's the same players who have let Poch, Jose, Nuno and Conte down. The owners also need to take responsibility. Overbacking managers, spending money on decent players. Also get rid of the deadwood. 41 years I've supported Spurs. I've never been this lost, upset with my team. I've never felt this disconnected with the club. This summer, we're at risk of losing Harry and Conte. For me, the blame lays with the feet of the players and the owners of the club. The club is lost. The club is lost. Tottenham Hotspur, you've broke my heart. You've broken me. You've broken fans. I just want my club back. I miss Tottenham. And that's what I wrote the other day after watching Chris Cowlin. Look, everyone has to take responsibility. The players have to take responsibility. The owners have to take responsibility. It's players again, Ellie, that threw Poch under the bus. The likes of Dyer, Sanchez, Dombellier, all the players. We've wasted money. Director of footballs have to take responsibility, Ellie, for the mess they've made.
Yeah.
Do you know, it means that I wrote my heart and soul into that, Ellie. And I watched Chris Cowland, and I wrote that while watching Chris Cowland with my heart breaking and tears in my eyes.
Yeah.
Because this is a club I love. I was born in Tottenham. Though I am Irish to the bone, you cut me and I will come out green, white, and gold in my veins. I'm Irish to the backbone. I'm Irish to the core. But I'm proud for where I was born. I was proud I was born in Tottenham. I'm a Tottenham fan. I've always been a Tottenham fan. Never wavered. Since the day I was born to the day I die, I will always support Tottenham. But it's breaking my heart to see this.
Yeah.
It's breaking my heart. And this club is breaking me. It's broke me. I don't want my club to break me. Yeah, we're all happy with the win last night. We're all happy we beat Fulham. Again, managers are not being back. But you look back at it over the last 40 years, since the day Keith Birkinshaw left that football club, we've been on a downward spiral since then. Where's the spirit of Bill Nick? Where's the spirit of Arthur Rowe? Where's the spirit of Dave Mackay, Danny Blanchflower, Jimmy Greaves? Where's the spirit of Steve Perryman, Graham Roberts, Tony Galvin, Steve Archibald, Garth Crooks, Ray Clements? Where's the spirit of Bobby Buckley, who started us back in 1882? Where's the spirit of the 1901 team, the first non-league team to win an FA Cup? Where's the spirit of the double side, of the 62 FA Cup winning side, of the first team to win a European trophy, the first team to won the FA Cup in 67, the first team to win a League Cup, the first team to win 2 European trophies with the UEFA Cup in 72. And then again back in 84, Graham Roberts there banging it in, putting his body on the line, running out of the pitch in 81 with teeth missing.
Yeah.
Where's that? Where's the commitment? Players like Harry Kane, who put his soul into the club, who's equal Jimmy Greaves' record last night. Where's Dyer putting it in when he needs to, turning his back when there's a shot? Sanchez, again. Emerson may have had a good game last night. Where's he been for the last couple of when he hasn't played well? Segerson doesn't play well. Conte deserves better. Conte deserves backing. Players need to take responsibility and look themselves in the mirror. The shirt means something. I'm unfit. I'm fat. I'm unfit. I'm 46 next month. And I tell you one thing. If somebody gave me a Spurs shirt that says you're playing tonight, I would run into the ground where I'd be dead. Yeah. That's how much I would give.
That's it.
You started it all, Ellie, the ladies' side. 11 years old, playing for Tottenham Hotspur on a park, having abuse chucked to you, playing against Manchester United ladies. You've played for the club. You've sweated. You've had knee operations. You've sweat, blood, and fucking tears for this team. You've made sure on the ladies' side.
Shirt, you're proud to pull on that shirt.
That shirt means something, Ellie.
It means something.
The badge means something.
Yeah.
And I miss my Tottenham. Nothing to do with in and out, Levy out. It's got nothing to do. Everyone needs to take responsibility. Players, everybody, the scouting network for their failings of getting proper players. Their failings of not having a proper youth system in there.
Go and watch the player. Watch him like they did with Mickey Hazard. Watch him week in, week out. See what his parents are like. See what he's like as a person. You know, you don't just scout. You look at stats, but you scout the player as well. His character, whether he's got the balls to dig in. You know, when the going gets tough. There's all these factors come into a footballer. We got Lodon Belly, all the talent in the world, but no work ethic.
You know? Ellie, it's not an it's not a Levy. Yeah, Ellie, it's not a Levy in and out protest statement. It's a statement because I love my club.
Yeah.
Players have let us down. How many players, Ellie, have let us down time and time and time again?
They've all. Luckily, we got a really good DOF who got a lot of them out on loan because nobody wanted to take them, Dermot, because they've been seeing them what they've been doing at our club.
And by the way, he is a Don. And I've always called him a Don.
Yeah.
Ellie's always backed me on that.
I do.
That man has got more. Look, okay, they're out and loan, people will say to us, but they're out. And I'm really, this breaks my heart, Ellie, to see the club we love in this mess. Yeah, we got a grand stadium, and I love our stadium.
Do you know what?
But I would rather the old White Hart Lane and a world-class team.
Yeah, I agree with you, Dermot. I'm with you 100% because I'm from even a little bit back from you.
Yeah.
Right. When all right, I was a little nipper in the 60s. By the time the 60s ended, I was 8. But I can remember going to the FA Cup final in 1967 with my dad, putting me on his shoulders, and White Hart Lane was rocking. Like all around that area was rocking after the match. And I was only 5, and I can remember all the rattles, the rosettes, the people in their suits. You know, it's these memories stick in your mind. And then you'll see players go on that pitch and they won't give their all, and they'll give up and they'll turn their back. Right. And that's not on. At least give it 100%. And if you lose after giving 100%, the fans will be forgiving. There's too many matches this season where we've given up, and we could have been right up there if we just put in an extra 10, 15, 20%, you know. But that's for Conte to call out now. He's called it out. So from now to the end of the season, I don't want to see any slackers. I want to see the same effort we put in at Fulham.
Yeah, I will be doing a pre-record on what I've said and expanding on this. But on Thursday, I'm going to have my say. Ellie's going to have her say. Philip's going to have his say. And we will get a guest on. This isn't a leaving an Enoch out message. It's a message that I miss my club.
It's coming from your heart.
It's coming from players, managers, not being bad. Keith Birkinshaw said, when he left Ellie, there used to be a club over there. Scott and Ellie took us out of existence. It's not just Levy and Enoch. Previous owners have to take responsibility for our decline.
Yeah.
So let's put it right. This is not just for Levy and Enoch. This is for everything. How I feel about my club for the past 41 years. How I see it.
Yeah. Well said, Dermot. Like I said, when you put it out there, I put well said, Dermatron.
Yeah. Wayne Bonner, I love Dermot when he gets passionate. It's true and absolute. Keep it up, Dermot. Never lose that passion. Look, I love my football club as much as we all do. But it was watching Chris Cowland. That's what made me write that. Chris Cowland, if you're watching, if you ever do watch my shows, I don't think you would, but if you ever do,
we'll post it to him.
Can I just say I've never seen you so passionate. Well, you are passionate, but I've never seen you so heartbroken about the club. You and me probably have been supporting Tottenham around the same time. Ellie's played for the club. I speak to Spurs fans. I speak to Dave. I speak to Jack. I speak to Philip Brady, who's been there longer than us, Ellie.
I know.
And to see the pain in their eyes. This is not a football club. This is us. It's like having an affair, having a mistress, supporting Tottenham Hotspur. It's your second family.
It is.
Do you know what I mean? It's Ellie, look, I won't go on too much on because we will do a pre-record in this hopefully today, and we'll have it out tomorrow for you. Me and Ellie will be doing this together. And look, we as a club have been known for the first to this, Ellie, the first to that. We were the first to do the double this century. We were the first team to retain an FA Cup in 61 and 62, again in 81 and 82.
Yeah, we've done a lot of marvellous things.
We were the first team to win an FA Cup in 1901 as a non-league side. We were the first team to win a European trophy, the Cup Winners' Cup in 63. We were the first team to win 2 European trophies when we won the UEFA Cup in 72. Again, it seems, if you look at it, Ellie, 51, we won the league. The 60s, we won 3 FA Cups and a Cup Winners' Cup and a league. 70s, we won 2 League Cups and a UEFA Cup. The 1980s, we won 2 FA Cups and got to semi-finals, final of the League Cup, semi-finals of the Cup Winners' Cup, and won the UEFA Cup in 84. 1991, we won an FA Cup. 1999, we won a League Cup. 2008, we won a League Cup. 2009, we got to the final, and then we've got to semi-finals, nearly won the league, done this, done that. But the point I'm asking, Ellie, is since the day Birkinshaw left in 84, can you point that back to the start of our decline, Ellie? Of where things are, where the spirit or the foundations were starting to be broken up of the foundations laid by Bill Nick.
We had a different ethos at the club. We had a lot of homegrown players come through, and the players that we scouted, Graham Roberts and Tony Galvin, what marvellous scouts we had to bring those 2 boys, one from Weymouth and one from Gould Town, non-league team. And he came and he rose, and that 81 final was the best final that's ever been played. And I'm not being biased. It was a fantastic replay.
Yeah.
Great football, end-to-end stuff, And then I would say back to Bill Nicholson even, because like Bill Nicholson, and I'll quote him, he said, "The game is about glory. You're not just there to compete and not win anything. You're there for the glory. You want to win the trophies." And people will say finishing top 4 is successful. Maybe in terms of getting money into the club, yes. But only if that money is well spent. And we've wasted so much of that money. Since the last 6 out of 8 seasons we've made Champions League. So we've wasted, I'd say 90% of the money we've wasted. And it should be the other way round.
Yeah, look, Ellie, we will go into depth this in our pre-record we're going to do, and we'll have it out tomorrow for you. Look, we all love our club. And Wayne Bonner put it here spot on. Keith Birkinshaw left, he knew and saw what was happening. And Look, I've said it in what I wrote, that if Bill Nick's looking down, he's embarrassed of what we've become. This isn't the club that Bill made. Bill Nick built. This isn't the house that built. The house that Bill built has gone. Now, a lot of fans will say we've got to move on with the times. This is a different type of football. This is a different type of life. But clubs have traditions, Ellie. Clubs have history. We need to be proud of our history. There's no hit, and there will be going in this as well about the statues. You look at Old Trafford, the statues of George Best, Bobby Charlton, Dennis Law. There's a statue of Sir Matt Busby. You go to Liverpool, there's a statue of. You got the Shankly Gates. You've got, and I know it's up there for Hillsborough as well, and which is right. And in
Scotland, that Celtic and Rangers, their grounds are a homage to their former glories.
You go to Leeds, they got a statue of Billy Bremner. I mean, he was a hard nut. That picture of him, and I swear to God, when Dave McKay's got in by the scruff of the neck, right, Billy Bremner was absolutely crapping himself, right? Seriously. Newcastle, they got a statue of Alan Shearer, statue of Bobby Robson. And there should be one. Bobby Robson was probably one of the great managers of his time. But you look at it, Man United, Liverpool, Celtic, Rangers, as much as I hate Rangers, even QPR probably have something else. So Fulham have a bloody statue of bloody.
They've got the Stanley Bowles end. They've named an end after Stanley Bowles.
Would anybody in Tottenham, just for 1 minute, sit there and think, hang on, we're looking for naming rights. Whoever does get the naming rights, that's another joke as well.
They should call it the Bill Nicholson Stadium. The Nicholson Stadium. That's what it should be called.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Ellie. You took the words right out of my mouth.
He's the greatest manager, and they didn't even knight him. They gave him an OBE.
Have the South Stand called the Arthur Rowe Stand. Yeah. Have the East Stand called the Dave McKay Stand. Have the West Stand called the called the Danny Blanchflower stand.
as well.
Have the North stand called the Jimmy Greaves stand.
Yeah.
Where's the statue of our greatest ever goal scorer?
Yeah.
The first Tottenham player ever to win a World Cup playing for Tottenham.
Yeah.
Where's the Bill Nix statue? The man that brought us success as a player and manager.
He had a little busk of him, right? A little busk, what they used to have on the way down to the Hall of Fame, right? And that's it. It's almost like the club are embarrassed about our history. You know, you should be reveling in our history. You should have a whole museum inside the Spurs ground praising what we used to do so that the players can live up to it. They're not going on that pitch thinking, oh, we can't get to that level. You can. You watch the old players play how they played, right? They played with all their heart and soul.
It seems, Ellie, to dare is to do is not the motto anymore. It seems to be just to do enough and get top four, but and players just to do a little bit. Look, I said before, the players have to take responsibility. This is not just a shout at the owners. Yeah. This is a shout to the players who have let us down as well, who've let us down in important matches, who don't care. And so I want to make that clear. And somebody's probably going to clip this as old THFC till I die or Enoch out, leave you out. We're not. I'm making a point. It is everyone has to take responsibility, from the owners to the players to the scouting network to previous owners. This club has not been the same, and I think it was Lee Richards here says, I pinpoint to it when Venables was sacked. Something about this club died after that.
Good shout.
Do you agree with that, Ellie? That's a good shout out, though.
Venables was a big character at Spurs, and him and Sugar clashed, didn't they?
Ellie, let's be fair. Venables was as dodgy as the man next door, but he was a likable dodgy git, if you know what I mean.
Listen, he got deals through the door, maybe backhanded, right? But he was a fantastic coach and a fantastic manager. Everybody loved him. Yeah. Everybody.
People seem to forget he got QPR to an 82 Cup final.
Yeah.
And they were a second division side.
I know. And they really beat us. The first game, they battered us.
They did.
They really did.
And also
my husband's sitting there. He's agreeing. He's a big QPR fan.
He had the great side of the Crystal Palace young side in the late 70s.
Oh my God. And then who got in? Barcelona. That is his credentials, you know. To go to Barcelona and manage Barcelona, you've made it.
Yeah. And to be fair, people are putting there about Dave Mackay. He won 3 FA Cups with us and a Cup Winners' Cup and the league.
Yeah.
Broke his leg twice. Still come back.
Done the double.
Yeah. The point I'm making, Ellie.
Say that.
You look at players of the past. You look at players, Gary Mabbott, Paul Stewart, Gary Lineker. Even now, you could go up to Harry Kane.
Len Hoddle.
Yeah. Could you see a player now, Ellie, having teeth broken, wanting to come out for the second half of a match, of a cup?
The only one I can put my hat on is Højbjerg.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, when he got gashed down the leg in the Brentford game in the League Cup semi-final.
You can put 3 in that, Ellie. Romero, Bentancur, Højbjerg.
Yeah, definitely. Those 3. We need to buy players that are committed. They've got the skill as well. Because technically, we're a bit lacking. We've got 3 really technical players in Harry Kane, Bentancur and Kulu. The rest of them, they're much of the muchness, you know.
Well,
even Sonny's not that technical. He's a brilliant goal scorer. Don't get me wrong, but this season he hasn't been performing to that level. But he can find his shooting boots.
Yeah. David Clark. Sorry, Dave. I didn't mean to call you Dave McKay, but I hope you take it as a compliment. Terry Venables, David Clark says Terry Venables' dodgy mates were running Spurs into a 20 million in debt until Sugar came in and found out about the fraud at the cup. Look.
Yeah.
At the time,
that is true.
At the time, I was very much Venables in the Venables camp. But as you get older and you look back at these things over the years, you start. Look, Sugar will always have a tick in my book for saving our club. but it still doesn't excuse him from the failures that he had as chairman. Not back. I mean, for God's sake, he brought in Christian Gross, and as I will put, hang on, just let me do this now. I have my travel card. I mean, for Christ's sake. Oh jeez! I mean, what was Sugar doing when he was picking managers? Was it going down the lucky dip? Well, hang on. Let's see your name I pick up this week. Hang on. Oh, Christian Gross. What's he done? He knows how to. He's a training enthusiast. I would get him as manager. He'd be great for the team. Lee Richards has put Venables. This is the point I do agree with. I agree with your point as well, David Clark.
That's
but
it.
This is. People seem to forget Terry Venables played for Tottenham. He won an FA Cup with Tottenham in '67.
Yeah, he did.
Venables knew the Spurs DNA. He knew that attacking, entertaining football and winning cups mattered to Spurs. Look, look.
Right,
how many times as in the 80s, Ellie? I mean, I was only a young kid in the 80s. You were older than me, bless you.
I was only beginning of the 90s. Yeah,
I was 5 in '81 and 6 in '82, and I remember the 87 cup final more. That was my first proper cup final. 82, 81, I don't remember. 82, I sort of remember. 87, I rarely remember.
Yeah, bloody stupid gits.
Yeah, but no, the point I'm making, Ellie, is it was like with Tottenham, you had the cup final song. You had like Spurs were on the way to Wembley, or Tottenham in '82, and then you had Chaz and Dave's David Pleat's the one for David Pleat, the man who loves the AA and breaking down the street corners. Never mind. Right. But the point I'm making, Ellie, as a Spurs fan, as a child, that used to get us going. That was everything about it. That's what I meant. There's no connection between the club and the fans. Bill, we were a family club.
Yeah, there's no transparency now. They don't let us know anything, do they? They keep it all undercover, and that's Levy for you, because he's like that. He's very insular. And he came out and done that interview, and it was like embarrassing. Embarrassing.
There is a man, right, who deserves the big. If anyone, I understand people are upset with Levy and Enoch, right? But if anyone can tell me at the time when Scholar was owner, were there the same protests outside the club then?
No, there wasn't.
That man
there was a little bit, but not like it is now.
That man nearly put us out of existence.
Irving Scholar, yeah.
And nobody seems to, Ellie, and we will go into depth with this on Thursday as well as our pre-record. Nobody seems to be pointing a finger at him. That's where it started. That was the downfall of everything. That's where the cancer started within our club.
Yeah. And he wanted to keep Glenn Hoddle, so he put on offshore accounts to pay them wages.
It was about the shops he was buying. He bought Hummel. I mean, this is a story, Ellie, right? Wimbledon had their centenary year, right? And Scholar was sort of in charge of Hummel getting their kits there. They got their centenary kit a year after their centenary.
Oh, God.
Scholar nearly did run Hummel. The day Scholar left Hummel, the next tax year, Hummel made a profit.
Yeah.
He bought a knitwearing company somewhere in Wiltshire. It went bust within 6 months. Seriously. We've got David Clark. Scholar,
businessman, was he?
Yeah. Scholar was filtering money through a sportswear company, which meant Spurs were 20 million in debt. Yet there were 8 million in debt with the bank, with Midlands Bank at the time, which Midlands Bank became
big crooks.
Lloyd's. Yeah, there were 8 million. The sell of Gascoigne was to pay off that debt.
What we got to do?
If it wasn't for Venables, and if it wasn't for Venables and Sugar, they saved our club. So I will not. I understand Venables was a bit of a Del boy, but I will still credit him. He saved our club. So please show a bit of respect.
The thing is, all throughout these years, we had fantastic sides who played entertaining football. Now we've got the money side kosher. Everything's hunky dory. The bank balance is good. We've got the best profit out of all the Premiership clubs. The best one, right? But the footballing side, we're very disillusioned with because we haven't won anything since 2008. So this is the 15th season. Now, if we don't win anything this season, what's going to happen is next season, are we going to have the same manager? Are we going to have players leaving left, right and centre because they're disillusioned as well? They don't believe in the direction of the club. So we got to start winning so that we can attract players in as well.
Yeah, but
attracts.
Yeah, but the thing is, Ellie, it's the point of what I wrote was it wasn't about Levy and Enoch. It was about the last 40 years of my years supporting Tottenham.
I know, because you've seen the decline.
Yeah, and we've seen the decline, and it's not just Levy and Enoch thing. It's about it's about Sugar. It's about Scholar. It's about managers we've had that we've brought in. Jack Santini, 14 games, 13 games. He was in charge.
Like that,
For a lot of people, it started with sacking Martin Yale at half-time with the current owners.
Oh my God!
And for me, with Sugar, I was Sugar out when he brought in Christian Gross as a manager. I mean, come on. And then with Scholar, look, this goes back to when Keith Burkishaw left, and that's where, for me, the cancer started. And it's been allowed to spread. But again, I was stressed till I'm blue in the bloody face. It isn't the manager, it isn't the owners, it's the managers, it's the players. Everyone has to take responsibility. It's people not putting money to set up a decent youth academy. Do you know, we had great youth players coming through the club. Mickey Hazard. We had Glenn Hoddle came through our youth academy.
Yeah.
World-class players.
17 years old.
And it's a combination of everything. So we will be going into that. We will be going more in depth in this on Thursday. So please join us. We're on at 7:00. Me, Ellie, and Philip Brady, and a guest. I think Mia might come on, but it is the King, the Queen, and the Godfather. It's the return of the series, and we'll be doing one a month, and then in the summer, then we will be doing one a week with these with the things. But look, let's just end with a bit of happy news. Spurs have got the first signing through the door. I should do this again. I only made this up today. I will do a proper breaking news for the transfer deadline. Where is it now? So there you go. Spurs have made their first signing. It's Fabrizio Romero. We'll bring it up here before we go off, and we will leave this on. Where is it now?
I think that's the one that Danny Kiriakou said they were trying to get over the line.
Yeah, there he is, Fabrizio. Here we go. And if you wonder what Mr. Godfather is doing, at the moment he's doing this. I do love that video. You can use that for any good news story.
It reminds me of after the Champions League, all the videos that came out.
I tell you what, the night we qualified for the Champions League, right, Ellie? I was in hospital with my missus. She went in. She had something wrong with her heart. She'd not long having her first 2 heart attacks, so we thought it was another one. And she asked me to go down to get her McDonald's. Right, so I went in. I had this big little bag, right, with McDonald's for me, and I hadn't eaten for all day. And there was this Liverpool fan sitting with an iPad in A&E, and I knew we were losing. I thought we've got no chance of qualifying. What's the score? And this Liverpool fan looked up at me like this. He went, "You lucky bastards, you have made it." And I didn't believe him for about an hour. Till a doctor came in who's also a Spurs fan. Said,
there you go.
Anyone Spurs fans went, I am. He said, we're made the Champions League final. I went, yeah. I couldn't sleep that night. It was like, we've made the Champions League final. It was like something you never could get into your head. But look, we will be going through that.
That'd make a great show if we get fans on talking about what they were doing that day.
Well, I tell you what, Ellie, talking about getting fans. Yeah, talking about getting fans on. Tomorrow night at 7:30, Fan Zone is on. So please come on, have your say with us, with all the topics.
Everybody, join
with
us.
all your topics. What we're going to do is we're going to start with the members, and then we're going to put it as members only, so the members can come on, have their say first, and then we will be putting the link out for anybody else that wants to come on.
Yeah.
So members, the link for the members will be in the community section at 7:15. We go live at 7:30, so please all get in. And even if you don't want to show your face on camera, you don't have to. You don't have to. We'd love to hear.
A big spot on your nose, you don't want to come on.
Well, you might not feel comfortable like me and Ellie doing this. You see, Mia doesn't have to. But yeah, please do come on, have your say tomorrow night. We would love to hear. So the members go first, and then after the members, then we'll put the link out there for another half hour or so.
Chatters.
Yeah, so please get your if you want to come on tomorrow night, get your memberships. They're only $2.99. We're starting a competition on the Man City game, where Philip will explain on Thursday, but it's basically like a competition. Who can pick the most wins out of 10 games of the season? So whoever comes top will get a Tottenham shirt of their choice, home or away. We will get that for you. Second place will get a Tottenham Hotspur football. And if you finish bottom, we will see about getting you a season ticket for Arsenal or a McDonald's voucher for a Happy Meal. So there you go.
That's it.
Brilliant. So anyway, me and Ellie are going to do pre-record later tonight for tomorrow about my statement. Tomorrow we're back on with Fan Zone at 7:30. I might be on at 12:30 for Newsbeat with either Ellie or Mia or Philip. And then Thursday we're back at 7:30 with 7 o'clock with the debate show. I miss my Tottenham. Look, I hope you've enjoyed it. It sparked a lot of interest, but Tottenham Hotspur have made the first signing. I apologise about the glitches on my system. It's just been one of those glitches. I will look into why. But thank you for watching us. Thank you for giving us hit like and subscribe.
That's right.
Get your memberships for tomorrow night. It is the members fan show. We want you to come on, have your say. Come on, you Spurs. In
Come on, you Spurs.
I didn't want to press that. I want to press that.